Hello, everybody, and welcome to 2023. We are finally in the new year. Yeah, I don't know if I'm the only person who was looking forward to this new year so much, but I'm kind of glad. I'm glad we're in a new year. I'm glad we're moving forward with our lives. I don't know if I'm the only one, but 2022 seemed to just speed by. Like the year just flew, but I'm glad that we're moving forward, that we have life, and like we can look back and appreciate where we have come from and where we are going to. So, as I usually do, I'm going to be recapping not just December, but the whole of 2022, how it started, how it progressed, how it ended, etc. And I'll also be sharing my goals for this new year 2023, and like the mindset that I'm having as I am stepping into this new season. So 2022 January, for the first time ever, I had the 21-day fast. 2022 started with a mindset that I did not want to be in the same level in every aspect of my life, be it physically, be it spiritually, be it financially, be it socially. Like I wanted to grow because in the past I'd gone through a few disappointments, and I was just in a place where I wanted to grow. And I said that, God, whatever I need to do to grow, I need to do it. And that included doing something that I had never done before. Like when we were young, we're always hearing 21 days fast in January. And I was like, let me do this. Not allied with any church or anything, but just me and God. Let me dedicate all of this year to God. And so I started it, and God taught me a lot. Like recently, I went back to read some of the jottings that I took down, and it was like showing me a glimpse of some things that God would have revealed mightily later in the line. And it was really a very good preparational phase for me. And long story short, I went through that, and then God gave me another challenge to do something very new to me, something I'd never done, and that was to give my first fruit, my first salary. Then I was working in the school, and I wasn't really happy in the school. Initially, I was thinking of leaving that January, but I was just like, okay, if I leave this job now, what am I going to do for finances and fun? Like, I don't want to be dependent anymore, etc. So I was pushing it, and I was in a place, my heart was very troubled. I didn't have a lot of peace. But anyway, in regards to moving forward, God gave me an instruction to give my first fruit in January. And I was like, God, are you sure? Are you sure I'm not trying to move your hand? And I made a lot of excuses, but I'm glad that in the end, it made me in the end, I found the strength to actually make that decision. And it made me aware of something, not necessarily that, okay, you give the sacrifice and you get like 10 times over. That didn't happen. Like throughout 2022, I really struggled financially. But me giving that first fruit at the beginning of the year actually put me in a place where I had to be 100% reliant on God for every single need. I was like, God, it's you. Oh. It's you. This money is not actually what has been helping me to meet my needs. But one thing I really learned in 2022 was that I learned to see God as my provider. Like, I learned to shift my mentality from, okay, God, give me 100 million for this thing now. But what I came to understand is that in Christ Jesus, there is more than enough for that thing that you need. I came to understand that God cares for us from Luke chapter 12. If you've been reading my monthly posts, I think I've forgotten, but I shared like how I had that awakening and understanding. Like it's not just God giving you exactly what you desire, but it is Him. It is the understanding that He cares for you, and He just makes a way. Like it helped me to understand that okay, God is able to make a way for me in my every need, and He wants to make a way, and I have to humble myself before Him and not make that thing to steal my joy. And I really learned from that January time, I learned about the provision aspect. Another thing that God emphasized from the beginning of that my January fast and throughout the year was intimacy. I was walking to work one day and I heard, I'm going to digress a bit. I heard a voice in my soul, in my spirit that said, separation from God is death. And he just has so much emphasis that no matter what I am pursuing in 2022, it must not cause a rift between me and God. I had to come closer. I had to understand what it meant to be intimate with God, to be more intimate with God. Now, the digression I want to digress is this. In 2022, I really heard from God. Like most of the time in my Christian faith, I just trust in what I hear from ministers and trust in what I hear in the Bible. But there are some times that when God speaks to me in 2022, I'm like, what is this? It's like a slap in my face, not in a bad way, but in a good way. Like, am I actually hearing God's instruction? Like there was another time that I was so frustrated. I was so angry. And I was distracting myself and occupying myself with so many thoughts because I didn't want to come to terms with the fact that I was offended and I was hurt and I was fed up and I was losing my joy and my passion. And God just told me, I heard it in my heart, in my soul. Say, are you ready to talk to me now? Are you ready to talk to me now? And I think that that's one of the greatest testimonies about 2022, that even though it's a process, even though it doesn't take time, even though it's not instant, like through it all, God is able to cultivate like a relationship, like how physical relationships are. God can cultivate a relationship with us where we speak to Him and He listens to us, and He speaks to us and we listen to Him. So I'm going to fast forward from January. So January life went on. All of that is in my blog. In April, I finally quit my job. It was hard, it was difficult. I moved to Lagos and God taught me a lot. And what He taught me was still about trusting in Him and understanding how to let go of a lot of the pain in my heart and actually take everything to Him. Sometimes it looks as if I keep saying the same thing over and over again, but it's because it is a process. So I went to Lagos. I tried, but in the end, there was a reason why I had to go to Lagos. There was a reason why I had to be cut off from everything comfortable and familiar, because at that place, at that place where it felt as if I was really neglected and where it felt as if it was just me alone, like I really saw God move and I really heard him emphasizing on the same things again. So I came back, lots of stuff happened. The year moved, progressed. I celebrated my birthday, and God showed His wonders and He provided for me and He healed me. And then we came to December, and when December was coming to an end, I had this struggle in my heart, and the struggle was that, oh God, okay, throughout the course of the year, you have made me understand that I shouldn't make my desires and expectations and idols. I want to follow you. I want to make you the most important thing in my life. I want to make you my one priority. Okay, now, career is not working, relationship is not working, whatever. Please give me an opportunity to serve you however you see it fit to serve you. And I prayed this prayer and I was praying the prayer and I was praying the prayer and I wasn't hearing anything. Like even when I apply to do stuff, when I send emails to serve, like the opportunity doesn't come forth. Like I see a ministry I want to sing in their worship team, I don't get the opportunity, and it was hard. Towards the end of December, especially during Christmas period, it really gripped my heart. And I was like, going back to the place that I was all those years ago in 2017, where the devil used his words to assault me, and the words of useless and insufficient started coming back all this time. And I was mad at myself, like, okay, all the growth that you have grown, and why are you still allowing yourself to feel these thoughts and feel as if you are insufficient? And I was like, okay, God, why can't you just give me something to do? Like I've left it all. I've accepted the fact that all the plans, the grand plans I have to help people and whatever, maybe I'm not getting it from the right perspective. I've put all those things away. Now do what you want with my life. And I prayed about it. I prayed about it. And God answered. God answered. And the answer he answered was so, it was so tender, and it was from the most unexpected of sources. But it was so tender that he intentionally chose to share that truth with me through that particular person. And he made me realize that I am calling you to abide, to abide. It doesn't have to be some grand mission. You understand? For you to have purpose, just living your day-to-day life, just filling your heart with the truth, with the truth of Christ, just being humble and being connected and being intimate. Like, it seems as if God has been asking me to sit down and pay attention for a very long time, but that's the primary thing that He desires for us to do. And when I learned that, I actually had a lot of peace on the issue, and I was like, God, I actually trust you. I'm coming to the end of the year. I was like, okay, I started this year and I said, start with me. And you have actually started with me, and you have been leading me in my heart. In my heart, I want manifestation. I want something to finally, I want the match to finally be struck. But in the end of the day, there's nothing more important than you. And I trust you with my life. That whatever you are going to do is for the best. And I had a lot of peace about it. And as I entered January, the prayer I was praying is that, oh God, please lead my way. Like, I understand that I don't have complete knowledge, but what I do have is an eagerness and a willingness to live for you. And so I'm praying that God, you will lead me. You will lead me however you see me fit. And if you want to use me, use me. And if you don't even want to use me, if you just want me to sit down by your feet and just keep hearing from you, then just do it. Just do whatever you want to do in my life. And that's where I find myself today. So that's a lot about how 2022 went and where I am today. Now I want to talk about like my goals for 2023. I don't know why there is a lot of shame on this for me, and I don't understand why there should be shame on this particular topic, but I want to stop the stigma that originates from myself and face it head on. Why is it hard for me to admit that I am ready for relationships and I'm ready for marriage, and that's actually a goal for me. Like, there was a time that I was like, okay, even if I don't marry, nothing there, I just want to serve God with my life. It's a desire in my heart. Like, it's something I want to happen. And last year I told myself that I think I'm ready. I think I'm ready for that. And I started to really pray about it. I'd been praying about it before, but I started to really pray about it. And the reason why I was more convinced about it is like, okay, the reasons why I said, okay, if it doesn't happen, I'm fine with it. They were actually selfish reasons. Some of the reasons that I don't want to put my heart on the line and risk my heart. Other reasons that I saw other marriages around me that were less than ideal, and I was like, okay, if avoid that entirely, then maybe I wouldn't have to go through those challenges. And it's a very childish way to think that you go through anything in life without struggling through challenges and without that curveball, like without taking that risk. So one of my goal, all that I'm saying, one of my goal in 2023, my secondary goal, the first goal, as I've already stated, is that I just want God to lead me. I become more intimate with Him, whether I find a platform to sing or not, whether I finally become financially independent or not, whatever happens, and be deepened in my relationship with Him. That's the primary one. But the secondary one is that I'm ready, and I'm praying to God, even though I seem clueless in it. But all I can do is to pray. I pray that I'll move a step further. Like the Bible said that it is a good thing for a man to separate himself for his parents and find a wife and start a family. Like, God created creation, and he brought Adam and Eve together and he set them up as a union. I know the implications of marriage and I want it. I want it. And I believe that it's God's will for me. And I believe that all the things that told me in the past that if I don't deserve it, they are not from God. And I'm ready. I'm ready now. And I can move ahead. And on that note, I want to talk about growth. I think all the things that have happened to me in the past have kind of made me scared of desiring growth and desiring growing and moving to the next level, because I've been a very right from that, I've been a very ambitious person even before I became so deep in the faith. Like, I don't like to stay in one place for too long and I like to move forward and tick things off right from time. I was wondering if doing this is another thing that I can make into an idol in my life, because I've been expecting something different and greater than the level where I found myself, to the extent that it started having a negative influence on my faith journey. So like I was thinking, like, desiring this thing, will you make it into an idol? Will you make it steal your joy? Will it make you feel as if you don't, okay, I don't have any purpose anymore if I don't find someone who will marry me and etc. And I don't know, it's very likely that I can think like that because I'm human and we are all flawed. But all I'm going to say is that I'm praying that God will go ahead of me and like make me grow and bless me in that aspect of my life. Like, I want to break forth this year. I want to be able to bless people financially, bless my family members financially, have the support that I need to be able to publish my book, paperback, and sell copies and have success in my writing and in other things. There are so many other goals and expectations I have, but those that I stated are the most primary goals and what I hope to achieve by the end of the year. And at the end of the day, I realized that me not having it all figured out is not such a bad thing, because there is room to rely on Him to help us. Yeah, there's still so much I want to learn. Like, if I go through 2023 and just like the previous year, the achievements that I have are all mental achievements and spiritual achievements and relationship with God, like Christ related and spiritual, like, I'm good with it, I'm fine with it, because I have this faith that God doesn't make any mistake in anything. He creates everything with a purpose and He will use it for what He intends. There is no use being anxious and being worried if God is going to actually work in your life. In the end, that's what I'm setting my eyes on. I think that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. Once again, welcome to 2023. Happy New Year. I hope that you enjoy your new month and your new year. I hope that it's blessed. And I hope that this video can be helpful to somebody. Bye.